yeah, that's how it goes. So, what I've been vaping on. I figured I'd do a little video because I get on here very often to do videos. Just watch stuff, and the house is empty except for the dogs and the cat. So, dogs in the window, you might hear barking. We just roll with it, right? Yell at the dog. It's all good. This is my daily work setup right here. This XT220 by Tesla Sigs. I always forget who makes this thing. Uh, 2700, 21700, 18650, whatever you want to throw in it. Um, because I put batteries in it before I go to work, and my batteries are still at like 50% when I get home. Freemax Fireluke with the single mesh coil in it, not to be mistaken with the Freemax Fireluke mesh with the single coil in it. Quite the difference in tank size there. Um, yeah, I get like a month out of these coil heads, so, and it's easy, just fill up and go and fill up and go, and yeah. And it does that. I see Smoke has that new TF V16 out. Interesting. Most of the guys out there that are reviewing it are like, "Hey, this is not a let's take this outside and go out in public with it because you'll, I don't know, make small children disappear or something like that because of the actual cloudage." But that's interesting. That's interesting. I think that's the first time I've ever said a Smoke product is interesting. But yeah, this is the everyday go to work. But that's huge. I'm like, yeah, just throw it in my pocket. You know, that's it. It's gone, disappeared. That's it. Grab the old tank, pull it right back out of these skinny jeans, and yeah, I know it's huge. It's not like the Sigelli box, right? It's not quite as skinny. All that. That's my. This is my sit at home and vape on the old Sig 150. What is this? SX33 chip in here, and bring that back. That's all I'm gonna say. Bring that back. You put something on here, it auto reads it. Doesn't ask you if it's new, if you want. There's no temperature control. It's just wattage at its finest, and it's beautiful. And I think everything I have at the table, with the exception to this. This is a mix of two different things, because I do that too. Um, Everything sitting on the table here has vanilla mint candy from the Vaping Watch in it. Hi, there's a dog. There's a dog. Just so I can see different flavor notes of different things, like the mesh tank. It's all a little bit different. We do have the Kelpie. I don't use the Kelpie as much as I would like to, really, but it's small. So there's that. It doesn't leak. It doesn't seep. It doesn't leak. It doesn't seep. What I got on the table doesn't leak, doesn't seep. This is a really crappy mod that I forget what it even is. The Praxis something. I don't remember. Say on the bottom. Of course, it doesn't say on the bottom. Because it's a Kelpie. I don't believe I'm currently running a dual coil in this. Yeah, it's possible if you haven't seen me do that. I think I have a regular like fused Clapton or something in here. It's just weird vanilla mint candy. It's almost like a thin mint without the chocolate, but has that weird cookie aftertaste. It's just weird. All of these. And I did just coil this up. And what did I put in it? I put some of these spitty motherfucking demon coil, spitty, what are these called? Violence coil 7-in-1 kit. I took, let's play with the focus. Ready to blink? Blink. This one right here, this twisted coil, whatever. Yeah, that. I took that and I put some 22 gauge in between it, just a single wire 22 gauge. And if you're gonna put Alien, Clapton, whatever, and then a single strand of round wire in between those, on the FP, at least on the FP, you wrap the coil up and you have all the leads coming out the same way. Well, if you try to trap that in the ceramic clamps, that's a no-go because the single strand is just going to fall out. So either you have to wrap that single strand into the legs of the Alien coil or whatever coil that's thicker on there to trap it in the one side, or you take those two leads and you make them go the other way. And that's what I did in this. So two leads are going one way for the single strand 22 gauge, and the other leads are going this way to the other clamp, and it works quite well. And as I was saying on the Sigelli, it doesn't care. Just, this only fires down to 0.1. I don't remember what this is. This is like 0.18 or something, and I think it just reads the yeah, so it says 0.2. Sorry, no autofocus because autofocus sucks. Autofocus sucks. It's just going to read it as a 0.2 because it doesn't read out to the second decimal point. But it is a 0.18. However, the coil in here for that twisted whatever the fuck it's called is a 0.25. So, yeah, there's that. I do not have this up near high enough. Oh, and my battery's almost dead. It's not going to go because the battery's dead. I feel like Vic. Vic's got battery issues every time he tries to vape something. We'll throw those on the charger in a minute. Oh, well, as long as I'm grabbing batteries here. Whee! That was a pod of some sort. Don't ask. Don't ask why there's a pod of some sort up there. What we have here, and this shows my name, but I don't really care. A buddy of mine at work made this for me. It's a battery holder. Yeah, it says my name in there. It says battery up in there that you can't see. It holds 3 2700s and 6 18650s, and these ones with the sticker on them, it holds really tight. So I think I need to take the sticker off of there. But it's very nice. If you have a 3D printer, this is great. It fits perfectly on my shelf. And let's see here. One battery there, one battery there. The only thing with the Sigelli, when you put batteries in it, you have to turn it back on. And boom, it comes back on. Boom, it's ready to go. This is the one I just coiled up like an hour ago. I did put pictures on it if you're a member if you're not a member, whatever. But if you're a member of the TVP Facebook group, because it's an FP. So if I do it on the FP, I'll put a picture on the TVP Facebook group page, because why not? 75 is a bit much for that. Yeah. Works quite well. Quite well. And the coil is so big that it's not so big. It's long because you add in the strands in there. I can show you. Hold on here. Some way, somehow, there's a little bit of juice on the table. And that happens, Captain. So, with the old FP, you take it off, flip it over, wait for 90% of the juice to go down, put it on the table so it's even, and take the base off. Ooh. You can tell this is freshly done. And autofocus. So maybe, not autofocus, but my focus. Maybe you'll be able to see the legs, maybe you won't. But there's two legs going to the top there, and there's two legs going to the bottom there. And you can do that on the FP because, oh, drip on the keyboard. You can do that on the FP because of the way the positive negatives are straight across from each other, which comes in handy for doing things like that. Because if they were the normal way, you wouldn't be able to do that. I dripped on a key, but I don't see. Oh, it's the number 7 key. You always keep that in mind. That number 7 now has a big old glop of e-liquid on it. Flip this around. It might pee a little bit on me because I did that. But nobody cares. Nobody cares. But an FP, no matter which FP, could be this FP, is normally what I'm vaping around the house because it holds a lot of juice and I can play Call of Duty or whatever and then grab it and vape it and not have to worry about, oh, is it getting low? Hell no, it ain't getting low. Look at how big this sumbitch is. And then this is just ease of use. Yes, I do like the flavor of this littler one better, but it's constantly vape, 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 fill it up, vape, 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 fill it up. This one goes twice as long without filling it up again. So this is a beautiful tank though. It's only a whopping 40 watts. Yeah, that battery's almost dead too. At home, I don't care what mod I'm using, but if I go out, I'm taking that because the battery life is amazing. Pair of 2700s in there, all good, all day. With the, what are these, like 0.15, something like that, 0.13 on this. It's only at 52 watts. But isn't that coil recommended to be like 80 watts or some bullshit? Hey, if you want to vape it at 80 watts, get a hot spot in it, and have it burn out in a week, you go right ahead. This vape suits me just fine at 50, 52 watts. It's warm enough, it's flavorful enough, and production is the bomb. The only shitty thing about this tank is this stupid top cap is what we're going to call it because it looks like a fucking top cap, a top hat. And then you got this fucking nubbin and there's an O-ring around there and this whole thing slides down and around. Well, that's stupid. Why don't you make it a 510 or an 810 or some shit so we could actually make or use a drip tip we already have and put it on there? Because you can't put anything on here. Well, what it comes with is what you're stuck with. So they might as well just made that part of it and been the end of it. I don't know. I got all my tools out here. I got cut wire everywhere. Got a can of Dew, of course. Because I'm fat. Fat people like Dew. Lay down, doggy. I really have no idea what coil is in here. And it probably looks super black and dark and gross. But it works really well. This mod is shit, by the way. The finish that's on it has this weird rubbery coat that you can peel off, like flaking of your skin in the summertime when you get a sunburn. But if you try to like scratch it off with something, it takes that layer and the layer of paint with it. So I think because these covers come off both sides, so one side exposes your batteries and one side don't, I might just sand that down and paint it or clear coat it depending on how bad the metal looks underneath there, and actually put decent paint on it instead of this white cruddy ass looking shit. But this was a really cheap in the clearance bin section of one of the many sites I use. But it works, and what I got it for was mowing. That was it. Throw my Atlantis on here, throw some 50-50 juice in the Atlantis, big old tank on that thing, and hey dog, stop that. Jeez. And use it for when I'm out mowing. Why don't you use an FP for mowing? Why don't you use the Kelpie for mowing? Why don't you use one of these for mowing? Simplest answer is these all have like 810 styled. Not really that, but wide bore tips, right? Bugs, grass clippings, things of that nature. Real easy access for these monster holes. So, no, that's why. So, you know, you want to go out mowing, sit on the tractor, do a couple laps, take something with a 510, take a pod. There's a good use for a pod. Besides, I just noticed this camera is all wonky off to the side. Let's see here. Ta-da! Unless you're a new vapor, trying it out, whatever, pods, I get it. Ease of accessibility, there it is. It's almost like having a cigarette, but cleaner. And yeah, cool. What I don't really get is all the upper level reviewers out there will break out a pod while they're on a cast or whatever. I get it. You get a pod in for review, you use the pod to review it. That should be the end of it. It really should. That should be the end of it. Just use the pod, review the pod. Yeah, it might show up on a stream or two because you're testing. I get that part. It's the 6-7 months later you're still using this little pod. Why? I don't get it. Especially for the ones that came through the whole thing and it was bro, tugboat, clouds, bro, flavor, great, yeah, do it. And then now you're on a pod. Seems like reverse. Yeah, I get it. It's wow, dog. It's all about the I'm using this to quit smoking. Well, if you've switched, the dog is snoring. You've switched, you've gone into all these other devices, and now you're back to a pod part that I don't get. I get the ones that all you do is mouth to lung. Well, pods fit you. Little tanks, mouth to lung tanks, pods, whatever. It's the ones that went from cloudage to pods, I don't understand it. And then upping their nicotine level because they have a pod, I don't get that either. You cut yourself down to 3 milligram, 1.5 milligram, whatever, and then you grab a pod and you throw 35, 50 milligrams in it. Why? Why is there a mindset of, I need that, I need that, I need to have that big punch, that big powerful hit, big throat, whatever. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why can't you just throw 3 milligram in your pod and be happy? Everything I order is either 3 or 1.5. For the simple fact of, I did 0 for a complete month. But it was lackluster. I wasn't feeling twitchy. I wasn't, oh, I really need that nicotine. No, all the flavors are just, it's like having Gatorade or Mountain Dew every day, right? You have that, you like it, that's what you have all the time. And then you go to uncaffeinated, 0 calorie, artificial sweetener, whatever type, Mountain Dew, Gatorade, whatever. It's like, yeah, it's okay. It's not how I like it. Sure, I can drink it, but yeah, pretty much sums it up. And so yeah, I went back to 1.5 and 3s because it adds a little bit of zip to the flavor. That's it. Either way, I was chain vaping the 0. I'm chain vaping the 3 or 1.5. These are all 3. Dog. Enter pause screen here. Yeah. Gotta help the old girl up. Her back legs don't work like they used to. And she'll go lay down somewhere. That'll be awesome. Because she's going to lay down on the carpet. And on the carpet, she can get up. That's enough about the dog. Dogs. Anywho, everything that I vape is basically more or less in opener airflow. The way the Kelpie's wrapped up right now is a little bit stiffer than the Fire Loop mesh. But that's really as open as you can have the Kelpie. And, you know, the airflow's set all the way open, but the coil takes up so much space in there that it basically cuts your airflow for you. Which I'm fine with that. All the airflow still comes at your coil, and at the bottom it's all wide open and it comes at your coil. Cool. Brings me to an airflow question. Here's an airflow question, right? So we have all these adjustable airflow. You know, you got the slidey ring. Wouldn't it be more productive if the airflow that was actually pointed at your coil, like you have the airflow comes in the side, and then it comes up to hit your coil in these tanks, right? Even though they're mesh coils, so they're round, whatever. Wouldn't it be a better idea to actually close down the airflow right before the coil instead of away from the coil? Like, say, a dripper does, right? You build the coil out to the sides. I got drippers, right? Somewhere. That's a dripper. It's a velocity. The velocity is the perfect point to this, alright? Its airflow shoots straight into the side, right where your coil is. I didn't have to put it on anything. Nice. Nice. Autofocus. Somewhere around there? Sure, whatever. Right? So, you got your coils. And right on the side of your coils is where your airflow is going to be. On the velocity and most drippers, fuzziness, your airflow's right there. I don't mess with those top holes. I keep those closed. But that airflow is basically the size of the coils I have wrapped in there. You can see right through it. And that's where you adjust it. Beautiful. Right before the coil, you can direct it in the middle. You can open it up a whole bunch. And then you get big smiley Canadian airflow right there. That's how I describe that. That's Canadian airflow with the eyes open. See, you can see right through that. But it's right there at the coil. It's not way down here at the bottom, shooting up, and then going through this big opening, whatever. Can't we figure out a slide motion effect or something to that effect of adjusting the airflow right before the coil instead of the outside ring of it? I know it's more complicated, but I think the job would be done a hell of a lot better if that was the case. I didn't line that up. Oh Lord. It's not on a device, so I can't adjust it. That's just a thought on airflow. I don't get it. I don't get why nobody's done that yet. A little ring on the outside that actually adjusts on the inside. Fuck the outside. The outside can stay all nice and open just like that on the Kelpie. But when you turn this, all this is still wide open. But on the inside, right before the coil, maybe like the FP and the Kelpie have that honeycomb style. Maybe two slots come in and start taking away from the outside in the airflow right before the coil. That is innovation. That probably make an awesome idea. Go ahead and steal it. I don't care. I don't do. This isn't a monetized channel. If you see an ad on here, that's YouTube's fault because it's not monetized. I've never seen an ad on my channel. So take that. Adjustable airflow at the actual base right before the coil. And the old Sigelli chip. Combine that stuff. Smod is bulletproof. Update from years ago. I figured out, I don't know if I said this on any other video, but I figured out why I never put my Sigelli 150 back together. It's a good reason for that. It doesn't fit anymore because I used the wrong size MyTech switch in there. My bad. I forgot why I hadn't put that together. Why haven't I put this back together? Am I just that lazy to resolder the ground on the 510? Because, you know, I had to take everything out so I could resolder resolder the switch in it. And I just replaced the switch. I said I had it apart. Let's replace the switch. I did that. But I couldn't remember why I didn't put it back together. This bad boy right here. Wake and Vape. Lord, magnets are strong with this one, young Scott. Oh, never mind. Whee! So here's and we'll get the actual name out right here. The saw it on here somewhere. Yee-hee! SX330 version 3B. Okay, that's what this is. And I replaced that fire button right there with a wrong size MyTech, and you can see how much higher it is than the other ones, which means it doesn't slide into place anymore, and that's very sad for me. So I've been trying to think of a box I would like to put this in, and my buddy made me some sleds. I don't know what I did with the clips, but he made me some 2700 battery sleds with his printer. These bad boys. So, what I'm thinking is taking this bad boy, putting it on the side here, wiring it up, sliding it into a box, fitting some buttons into it. Problem is, I don't have a box that will fit 2700s at the moment, and I would like a nice box. Some kind of box. I don't know. To start off with, it could be just a plain old regular box. I have a box up there that I can slide this into. However, there's not enough room for the 2700 sled. It would have to be an 18650 sled. And that's this bad boy right here, which I have already very badly drilled out a couple years ago when I got it. But that's the old Unicron box there, back in the days of Coast to Coast Vapors. I did a very poor job, and I'm going to warn you right now, if you're OCD, I did a poor job. But, let me get the barker. Told you. Told you she'd bark. Person's there every day for the mail, and you bark every day for no reason. So, stay there. But like I said, it's very poorly done. She's back in the window again. As long as she doesn't bark, I'm happy. I already yelled at her, so hopefully she won't. But, oh, I put that away already. But the inside of this is just not fashionable for this, because it leaves zero room. Yes, I could make this a 2700 single one in here, or there might be, I don't think there's even enough room for a 2700 sled in here, and just to put a MOSFET 510 and a button in it. There's just not enough room. It's too small. It's just too small. No way around it. Needs to be like 5 more millimeters all the way around. 5 to 6. And then I would be happy. So that's where I'm at with that. I don't know. Yeah, I know. I did a horrible job drilling that out. Look at how crooked it is. It's so crooked. It actually lines up though. Which is weird. But my mistake. And I could easily remedy that by taking the holes and widen them out and put bigger buttons, you know, like oval buttons on there instead. And nobody would know the difference except for you guys that just looked at that terrible job I did. But it's like the top one is lined up, but the bottom one is not. Not too bad where the screen goes. And everything does pretty much line up when you slide that in there. But I would have to put a 18650 sled in there. Because using the inside of the Sigelli, because everything clips into that. I don't know how well. See how it's supposed to slide into that slot right there for the chipboard? Not happening with the button I put on. But that is an update up to why. Wow. I got a screw in the way. Yep, I do. Magnets inside cause screws to stick to things that they shouldn't stick to. That's a rattly box. But, you know, update on that. Because, why not? What have you guys been up to? Anything good? Anything bad? I'll have a couple of Vape and Watch reviews up probably Maybe this week. We'll see. Um, Grandson's birthday is on the 1st. So happy 1 year to that boy. If I don't get a video up before then. 1 year. He survived a whole year. So weird because this is so comfortable to grab. It's so ugly. It is so ugly, but it's so comfortable to grab. It doesn't really slide around a lot. It's just, I don't know, and it works. Only issue I have with it is after it sits for a while and I throw some batteries in it, the screen comes up in something incoherent and could be written on an Egyptian wall or something, but even they wouldn't be able to read it. So I have to pop a battery back out and stick it back in, and then boom. Hey, look, I'm in English and I can be read. It's dumb. But it works every time I pick it up. Well, I mentioned the Kelpie drinks juice too. Yeah, I just filled this and it's bubbling away. What else you got? I don't know. Bring back this chip for sure. I highly enjoy it. This is really clicky. I like it. Even the up and down buttons are still clicky. But this new MyTech that I had put in is nice and clicky too. Super easy to wire. Super easy. It actually shares a common ground on this chip. So you don't really need both wires. You could just take the one wire and split it off later on instead of having 4 wires coming out of here. There'd only be 3. Super easy. The white one goes to the center 510 and the red one goes to the positive for your batteries. Super easy. They should all be like this. I looked at DNA chips and whatnot. Man, those are expensive. Find one of those and throw in the mods. That'd be a great mod. I would get that mod because it wouldn't be very expensive either. It's a beautiful drip tip that just looks so dirty. Y'all seen that, right? On the Kelpie. That is a beautiful looking drip tip, but at first glance, it looks so filthy. It looks like mouth junk on there, and it's like, and then you go look at it and you're like, it's dirty. Oh, it's not dirty. It's just how it is. I don't know. It's really nice. I like to ramble. What are we at? 38 minutes, huh? I don't know. I do have vape mail. Should be coming in tomorrow. I got some coils coming in. I was on Amazon because I'm on Amazon, and I was looking at they had a deal for the Amazon Days thing, whatever, the other week, and I got some 400 gig mini SSD cards for the wife's phone and camera and whatnot. 400 gigs. They were like 40 bucks. 40 bucks, 400 gigs, sure, slide them in. So as I was picking those up, I started looking for stupid vape gear, and I found some. Sorry, I'm gonna play with this damn thing. Do I got that sitting in here? I don't think I do. Sorry, I'm squirreling. I don't have that in here. It must be up there. But I have packs of, well, a pack of wire coming in that's like triple core Clapton, which I want to say is labeled like triple core alien, but it's not alien. I zoomed into the picture, I looked, it's Clapton. Why is it that companies think aliens are simple Claptons? They're not simple Claptons. So stop labeling your stuff aliens when they're not aliens. Like this. I don't know. Still got a couple of the old Coil Master ones left. We got a couple of these spitty boys. What I've been doing is throwing in my coils that I actually like to use once I pull them out, because I don't keep things in things. I don't. Ever. I pull them out. I do have the Aries JJ coils still up there in the combo, which I haven't vaped for a few weeks. So I'm going to guess that there's a whole lot of moisture and condensation in there. And if I were to take a rip on that, it would just be all weird crackly noises and bubbly bits and very little vapor for the first 10 pulls until the actual juice comes back out of the tank and into the coils. But those are the only ones I haven't pulled out because I like it in there. The combo basically has the same airflow as the Velocity without that top bit. Just has a slot right where the coil is. Woohoo! That works out beautiful. I love it. But once again, don't purchase these fancy things with the V2 because they spit like a madman. Their first version ones were, I don't want to say better. These are way nicer looking, but they do have a lot of spittiness. The other ones don't spit, but they are not crafted quite as well. But I figured I would pick up different things. So there is, I forget how many different coils there is. They're all in individual circles. You know, like this, but smaller. I'm gonna guess from the way the picture looks. I don't know. I think it's like 4 coils in each one of the little spools, and there's a bunch of different ones. I was really interested in like 2 of them, and the rest I was kind of like, meh, whatever they come with. Bring them in. And then the roll of Clapton wire that I think is labeled Alien. Nothing else really coming. Non-vape related. Amazon sells riding lawnmowers. I have one of those coming in like another week, a week and a half. Because the Poland Pro, which is basically a downgraded Craftsman because everything's almost identical to it, finally shit the bed after 2 years. It lasted 2 years. The transmission went out on it last night, and I said, the hell with it. And I don't want to go out anywhere and look at the damn things. And Amazon had them. And I said, sweet, because I have Amazon Prime. And I get all this bonus shit for ordering whatever. And cool. Boink. Send that to my house. Thank you. So when it gets here, maybe I'll throw a video up of an unboxing of a Craftsman lawnmower. Because I put all sorts of junk on this channel, right? I haven't for a while, but I do. All you have to do when you get one of those is uncrate it and put the steering wheel and the seat on. Ta-da! I don't understand why it's such a big deal to leave the steering wheel off, other than the way they package it would probably fucking warp it or whatever. I don't know. Same with the seat. They probably put straps across it or something, and then you'd have permanent lines in your seat. Racing stripes? I don't know. Aerodynamic safety. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Probably be, I don't know, a good week to 2 weeks before I even order any more liquid for any vape mails for that. I'm almost ready to review the couple that I have of these vape and watch ones. I did get like Higgy Cigs, you know, you guys know if you watch the channel. I did get Higgy Cigs a while back, but they're 2 flavors that I've already had. They're in a different flavor category. Sure, flavor category. Usually over at Higgy Cigs, I get in-your-face flavoring. Cool. Every once in a while I get normal, but usually it's in-your-face flavoring. The 2 that I got are I Trust You. And right out of the bottle when you get them, they are so overpowering that it's not the flavor that you want. It's really hard to describe. They don't really taste the same as the in your face or the normal, where they're nice. What I got, I'll show you what I got. What I got was, and I don't know where the top went to this one, but the top has gone away. Chocolate cherries, okay? Chocolate cherries from Higgy Cigs. The Wow I Trust You flavoring needs steep time. The in your face and the normal don't need any steep time. These do come out a lot richer. This is Higgy's Pipe, which I figured I'm going to get Higgy's Pipe, tobacco. It's going to be rich and yeah. Out of the bottle, right when you get it, no. I put this in a tank right away, and I regretted putting it in a tank right away because it's hard to explain. It doesn't give out that rich note. It's just kind of like, here's some flavor. And it's like, it's not really what I was going for. I was kind of hoping it would be richer and more robust and bold. You know, yeah, it's pow, it's there, but it doesn't have the notes that you want it to have, that you're used to it having. Once it's steeped, in like a month. Oh, beautiful. I did leave the tops off of these for a little while. But it's same with the chocolate cherries. My only gripe with the chocolate cherry over there is, you know, it's supposed to be chocolate covered cherries, basically. Where I wish it was like a Hershey's chocolate, like a Hershey's chocolate bar, it's not. It's more of a Hershey's cocoa. Hershey's cocoa is okay, you know. You make a hot cocoa, that's okay, right? Because you've added a whole bunch of sugar to it. So, yeah. Imagine Hershey's cocoa without the sugar in it. So it's still chocolate cherries, but it's not the proper chocolate. If that makes sense. It's just not the proper chocolate. It's still good. It still tastes all right, but it leaves you with that powdered cocoa-esque taste in your mouth when you vape it, which is, Sorry, Higgy Cigs, you're not gonna watch this anyhow, right? Right? Yeah. But vape and watch. I do have this vanilla mint candy, which it is tasty. It's weird. I don't know. Its actual tastes mint, so it doesn't have that menthol kick. It actually tastes like thin mints without the chocolate. And then what else we got? We got Dragon Cran Apple, which we've had before. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and scroll through and find that. And I don't think I have one for this. This is raspberry ice cream. That's quite tasty too. We'll get through the notes and stuff on that. I don't know if I have the dragon banana fruit as far as an old review. So that will get done. And then I just have the normal stuff up here. That and this. I don't know if I did this one either. This is really weird. This one's really weird. This is, yeah, I don't have autofocus on. This is the Clockworks Custard over there at Vape and Watch. And this one's interesting. This one's interesting. Do I like it? Yeah, I like it. But that's interesting. So those three, I guess, is what I have. We'll be up, I don't know. We'll try to do it this week. We'll see how that goes. But got wire coming in, lawnmower coming in. These three to do. We'll see how it all goes. The normal vapes of the day is done. I got all sorts of stuff up there I don't vape. I got stuff you can't even see is up on the very top. that I don't vape. Have to go through like 3 or 4 of the mods up there and clean up the contacts because they decided they don't want to work no more. Probably due to I don't do anything with the mods. I don't really do anything with the tanks. If I'm going to rebuild them, I'll clean them. As far as the tanks go and the drippers go. Rinse them underwater, wipe them out. That's it. No sonic cleaner around here, nothing. I like stuff that I can just pick up, fill up, go. No muss, no fuss. Okay? That being said, everything I normally use, I've never cleaned the contacts on any of this stuff. I don't clean the mods. If they get a little bit of drippy juice or something on there because I was a fool, I wipe it off. That's it. These don't get Lysol down. They don't get soaped up. They don't, nothing. I don't clean them. Nothing. Nothing. I just want to be able to grab it, go, whee, and that's it. The FP is just wonderful, by the way. And you can't get it anymore, I don't think. I don't even think Vapor DNA or whatever even has it anymore. I have 2 new ones. I don't know if that Mark Roberts guy just listens to me in the background or not. But I still have 2 brand new ones. And I realized that at the last expo, someone handed him a V2. Which is probably why he hasn't gotten back to me. Well, I'm going to put him out there right now because I can, and it's my channel, and it's what we do on our own channels, right? It's what we do on our own channels that make them our own. But I still have 2 up there, and if that man would like one, he knows where to get a hold of me. That being said, I tried for a second time on this one. I tried for a second time to take the airflow pieces apart, chucked them in a freezer, tried to get them apart, cannot get that base apart. Now, the reason I wanted to get the base apart was I was going to take all these nice shiny bits that are on this. This one's not so shiny. This one has been heat treated. This is a stainless steel version, okay? Which it's Chinesium stainless steel, what I just learned when I tried to do it for the second time. As I retried to do the top like I did the rest of it, except for the base. Don't do the base. Base has an O-ring in it, so you can't do the base unless you take the base apart. You can't get apart. But you see all that pitting? That is the badness of Chinesium. Okay? The Chinesium. I even tried to buff that out before I heat treated it again. To no avail. Yeah. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to disassemble this completely and give my boy over there a little surprise. And I know somebody that Cerakotes. And I was going to ask them, blast it down. You got to do a little sandblasting on them to get the Cerakote stick right. Cool beans. I've been blasting down and get it Cerakoted in a color. Whatever color available. Didn't really matter. But I can't get that base part, so surprise, surprise, no surprise, because I couldn't do it. No matter what I tried. And I'm not willing to actually break one in order to get it apart and go, oh, well, the easier way to do it is this. Which is what I wish people would do with those pods. See those pods? Like, they're putting that lollipop one out there right now. I forget the fuck the thing's called. The stupid stick on there for the Asian market, according to Vic. But that's neither here nor there. That one is not interesting to me, but interesting in the effect of it looks like a damn Pro-Tank coil head in there. It's got, well, Pro-Tank had silica in it, but you know, if you replace the silica with cotton, that's what it looks like. The 2 little cotton bow ties coming out of there, you know. And you can see on that pod there's an O-ring that goes around it. My question is that a snap together pod? Did they glue the pod down? It has an O-ring on it. So I'm going to bet if you've got two of those pods, break one apart and see what it looks like. Maybe you can rebuild it. It's got the pins in the bottom. It's got the pins in the bottom. You know what the pins do? The pins trap the wires. We all know that. Anyone who's ever taken anything apart like that, the pins trap the wires. So, can you take that pod apart and rebuild it? Sure, it's not manufacturer suggested, but can you? Yeah, you'd be wrapping it in something like 28 gauge, some goofy thin wire, but you could personalize your vape a little bit. Just a thought. The pods don't really interest me. It's kind of neat, like the old JUUL up there, which never got given away because the person basically ended up quitting. How do we put this? We shouldn't put it. We'll drop it right there. We'll drop that right there. But that never got given away, and it's still up there. Battery life sucks on it. It's a terrible company. Put that out there. It's a terrible company. Does the product work? Yeah, the product works. There's no denying that the product works. Is it a good company? No, it's not a good company. No, it's not. We'll leave that one there too. I always gotta fiddle with something. Need a fidget spinner or something. But made it to the end of this. Congratulations. That's about all the meanders, rambling I got for you. I just figured I'd put something out. It's almost an hour long. So, hope you all had fun listening to me ramble. Anything you'd like to see go on? You know, I know the channel's mainly for me and my stupidity of not being able to remember jack shit. But, you know, you got a suggestion, I don't mind the trolls in the comments every now and then. Every now and then there's one. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. I don't know. I don't know why people complain about that. If you look like somebody shaved a monkey and trained it to walk backwards, shit like that, whatever, it's fun. I do that to everybody. I expect no less. Y'all have fun now. 'Cause I know I will.